And then those nurses like taking my boob like this and just shoving it inside the baby. Ooh. Hi guys, thank you so much for allowing me the pleasure to infiltrate your spaces in the coolest way possible. If you are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this video. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back home, baby. All right, so today on this video, this is part 2 of my bed story. This is where I want to speak about my public hospital experience, giving birth at a public hospital, how it was for me, and I'm just hoping that this will help someone who is looking into giving birth to a public hospital. The one thing that I never want to do is to speak about why I gave birth at a public hospital, because most of the time you find a lot of moms wanting to justify why they're giving birth at a public hospital. It is a service that is available for all of us, and we should not justify giving birth at a public hospital, you know. All right, so I gave birth on the 16th of December 2022, and I left home around 6 and I went to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, guys, I waited for my life. Like, I waited without them giving me any attention. And I had watched a lot of videos where people were saying, when you go to a public hospital, ungakhali kakhulu, you know, don't be annoying, so the nurses can be annoyed by you, you know. So I did exactly that, and I was just like so chilled. And I think to my detriment, that made them think that like my situation is not that serious. I remember staying there, and there was this lady that came in. She was crying, she was making a noise. They took her in, they did everything for her. But I also think her labor was very was happening so quickly, because whereas I was sitting there, that lady came out with a child, guys. Like, she gave birth to a baby. But I sat there, I think they attended me, because the hospital is not far from where I stay. We left around 6. I think they only, and we got there about 7. They only attended me around 10, guys, and I was just waiting there. Anyways, and then when I was moved to the ward, I was moved to the ward. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was then moved to the ward, right? If you know anything about being in public hospitals, we are all in the same ward as mommies, right? And I think another thing that giving birth at the hospital, giving birth is traumatic, né? But giving birth, waiting to give birth, and you see someone trying to give birth and just like screaming for their lives, that is also hella traumatic. I remember when I was waiting to be attended by the doctor, there was a girl that was like, guys, I want an emergency C-section. Yeah, and she was crying. Yo, big color, guys, she was crying. Mam keepa lapayana, mam tetisa. They were shouting at her, but yeah, you know, to a point where like she was fighting and crying. I think that was just like so traumatic. So when you are going to give birth at a public hospital, just prepare yourself to know what you will see a lot of things that will make you think they will traumatize you before your actual time to give birth. So just prepare yourself for that. Anyways, so then I went and I eventually got a chance to be attended by the doctor. Like I told you guys, there was that emergency of that girl. So I went in to get a scan for the baby, the doctor to check what, and the doctor was like, he is going to induce my labor, né? And because that emergency happened, he forgot about me, and when that emergency was done, he never came back to the ward, right? I didn't know where to find him. I didn't know what to tell the nurses. So I just had to sit there. And eventually when they started inducing people, they induced the people that came after me also. And I was just sitting there because the doctor just left everything like that. So another thing is the fact that public hospitals are short-staffed, so they can forget you on the database. You know, I'm not saying that maybe I was not going to have an emergency C-section. I'm just saying that to a certain extent I was forgotten, and as a result I was not induced labor as fast as I was supposed to be induced. And so I had to wait, and then I waited until there was no time to induce my labor, you know. Anyway, so that was fine, and then I stayed there not the whole night. Then now they started putting the belt on me, and when they were putting the belt on me, guys, to make the story make sense, you need to go to part 1 and see my bad story, because I didn't want to attach the bad experiences to my bad story, because I just want my bad story to be like a beautiful story that resulted in a beautiful girl coming into this world, right? Anyway, so yeah. Whew. Sharp, relax, calm down, breathe, right? Sharp. I don't know how it happens in a private hospital, but I was not happy with the fact that the nurses came and they put in those belts, and then when they were shocked with what was going on, they didn't have the courtesy to tell me what was happening. They just called each other to be like, yo, and then the other was like, yo, and then like, yo. So now I'm just sitting there like, what is going on? And obviously it can't be anything good for them go to bed to my bed without telling me what is going on, you know. Anyways, sharp. Later on, I then needed to be moved from hospital A to hospital B, right? And as I was being moved to hospital A, going to hospital B, you guys know that when you go to the hospital to give birth, you carry like things with you. And I don't want to lie to you guys, I'm so glad that I didn't carry a lot of things, right? In as much as those things were not enough, I'm glad that I didn't carry a lot of things, especially because of the part that I needed to move from hospital A to hospital B. The nurse that was supposed to wheel me outside of the hospital kept on complaining, you know. The girl that I was with was quite tinier than me, and the nurse that was wheeling me outside was very tiny, and the nurse that was wheeling the other girl was very big. So from me coming in there, that other nurse had an attitude. Like, I think she just hated the fact that I didn't do my prenatals at a public facility. So she was like, first of all, when they took my maternity booklet, she was like, oh, why why does she not go to the private hospital? And then the other lady was like, no, that book is fine, it's not missing anything, it's just a different cover. And actually I love the cover. I think she was just trying to be nice, you know. And then she was like, no, I'm not gonna push that one, I'm gonna push the other one. And then the other tiny nurse had to push me. The whole time this tiny nurse is complaining like, oh my god. I'm like, Sana, can I get out of the wheelchair and just walk? Because I felt like I could walk, you know. And what's with the drama? You're complaining that you are pushing me, and I can literally just walk, you don't have to push me. And she was like, no, it's protocol, mommy, I'm really sorry, but like it's just heavy on me. And the other one just kept on laughing at her. She's pushing me and I'm actually heavy for her to push. Anyways, now we go to the car, guys. I don't know here, let me tell you. So it was me, my bags, the girl I was with, her bags, the nurse, the first nurse and the second nurse. Please explain to me why we had to go to the next hospital with a small private car. They literally ordered an Uber, guys. Yeah, our ambulance was an Uber, and I get that maybe it was an emergency, but now, guys, that we had to carry, and we had drips as well, and then our bags, and our bags are our responsibilities, guys. Luckily I just had one backpack, you know. I just had one backpack, but you can imagine, like, Guti, I'm carrying my drip, I have a catheter, and I have a bag, and I have to sit now with 3 people. It's our bags because they didn't even put them in the boot of the car. Anyways, yeah. And then we went to hospital B. When we got to hospital B, we just, okay, I got inside the room. They did the transfer where they were telling the nurses what was going on, blah 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 blah. And then I sat there. As I was sitting there, okay guys, so I was waiting for everything, for them to check blah 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 blah. And then when they told me that there's no possibility for my labor to be induced, I needed to get like an emergency C-section, sharp. So excuse me, as I'm sitting there, I needed to fill in consent forms for my C-section, because you need to consent to go to whatever happens and all those things. So this lady says to me, because obviously she's filling in everything for me, and then she's like, in case you don't wake up, who are we supposed to call? I get that they need to ask us that, but I felt like she was just being rude about it. You can ask who's in case of an emergency, who can we call? Anyways, I tell her you can call my partner, and then she's like, your partner? Oh, shame labo. So it's something like to say do you get? And I'm not excusing the experiences that she had with her partners or her baby daddies and stuff like that, but please do not project those on me, you know, because also you can ask me why I'm saying my partner is my next of kin. I'm in Pretoria. I'm originally from Mpumalanga. I don't have family here. I live with this person, you know. So my reality is not the same as your reality for you to sort of like erase me saying call my partner, because you can call someone in Mpumalanga. When are they going to get here in case of that emergency, you know? Anyways, she was like, no, I'm going to in a law. And I was like, okay, cool. At this moment, I'm just going through a lot. I was just told that I'm having an emergency C-section. And then when you're telling me you're not going to add my partner as someone to call in case of an emergency. Anyway, she's like, yeah, give me an anthem. I was like, yeah, I do have a sister. And that time, my sister who lives in Joburg was at work. Like, she was, if you know anything about my sister's work, at the time she was working literally all day, every day. So I knew what, even if she wants to call her, or in case of an emergency, Vela just call my partner. And then she's like, no, he's gonna be drunk, he's gonna be with other people. And that time I'm talking to this person as I'm talking to you. Do you get? Anyways, sharp. Eventually she's like, yeah, I'm gonna add both of them. My child just woke up, baby. Okay. And then guys, she then now has to help me go to take off my clothes. The whole time we are complaining like, yo, you have so many things, because I had like a bottle and stuff. This bottle will get lost. Switch off your phone, I want it. And I'm like, but also, like, you can't want to take my phone right now because the operation is going to happen maybe like, let's say, I think it happened an hour after that, and already you want me to switch off my phone. Like, Sana, come on. Anyways, sharp. I then now get wheeled to the operation room. I get to the operation room. I really can't fault anything that happened in the operation room, guys. Like, there's nothing negative I can say about being in the operation room there. And then I get out. Now I'm going to maternity, where, like, when you watch videos from people here, they tell you when you are sitting with your child, that's the best place. The only place that's horrible is there when you are waiting to give birth. The worst experience I got was at the maternity, guys. I got to the maternity after my operation. You need to lie flat. I think for the whole day. I remember just having to lie flat because my legs are still numb, everything is still numb, and I need to lie flat. So like I said, after giving birth, my family immediately came inside the ward. When they came inside the ward, the nurse had just brought in my daughter. Okay. And then when she brought in my daughter, guys, I don't know how to breastfeed. I've never breastfed anything. I don't know how to breastfeed. I only wanted to breastfeed because I felt like it would be good for my child, but I don't have prior knowledge of breastfeeding. And I think for me, I just thought you just do this and the baby knows what to do with the breast. And then those nurses like taking my boob like this and just shoving it inside the baby. Ooh, your nipples are so inverted. My nipples are inverted. They're calling each other to say, okay, even in front of my family, the other nurse was like, Haibo, don't behave like a child, feed your baby. And I'm like, how am I gonna do that? I just got out of an operation. I don't know how to breastfeed. like teach me at least, you know. Yo, very rudely, and they did that, you know. I shame, guys. Oh, that was just bad. Like, that was just horrible. Like, someone akhulume nawe ngathi you are just a baby, like ngathi awunangqondo, you know, ngathi awunangqondo. Ngapha I'm asking her, okay, how am I supposed to hold the baby because I'm numb? She's like, yo, and they just left me there with the baby. So when my family left, that's when reality was like, okay, how am I going to deal with this situation now? If the baby cries, like, how am I going to get to my child, you know? Anyways, I sat there, and yeah, my baby started crying. There was a time when my baby was crying, and I was like, nurse, you know, it's not like, you know, when you're at a private hospital, there's a thing you press and then they come. So you have to be like, nurse. And then I called her, please help me get my baby. She gave me my baby. When she gave me my baby, she was like, And then now I'm done consoling the baby. The baby's fine. I'll call her again. She's like, and I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do? They don't want you to sleep with the baby on your bed, obviously, because you can harm the baby. I was very sleepy. I was drugged. They will just come and give you drugs, guys, like punching drugs on your drip and stuff like that. And then yeah, it was just so horrible. I don't even want to lie. And even with like the doctors, I remember on that first night, as I was sleeping, I was woken up by a doctor touching my tummy. And I do get that is their job and they have to do it in Mhlambe at night, but I felt like it was so invasive. Like, please have the courtesy to like wake me up. I was so freaked out, guys. I felt like, you know, I had just had an operation and I'm sleeping, and then now I feel like something is happening on my tummy. I woke up like freaked out, like I was so, I don't know. And even when I woke up from my operation, and I wanted to drink water. Oh, hey, you can't drink. Oh, Sana. And I'm like, you can explain it to me properly. Like, Guti, I can't drink water. The experience was just so bad, to a point where I tried pumping for my child and nothing was coming out, guys. Like, I tried pumping with my hands and everything. The ladies there were so nice. They were like, no, just eat a lot of food. And this was on the 17th, né? And remember, when you're at the hospital, I don't know how they do it in other hospitals, but where I was, the baby gets checked, the sugar levels of the baby are checked, right? And then if you are not feeding your baby enough, the sugar levels will drop, and then you can't go home until the sugar levels are fine, you know. I was lucky that whenever I try pumping, a little will come out, and I'll just like give my child. And this amazing sister that I will never forget, like, because in as much as they were like horrible people, there was this nice one who came, and then she was like, mommy, I know you need to rest, so I'm gonna take the child and just allow you to rest. And you know, if I'm normal, I wouldn't let someone take my child without me knowing them or knowing where they are taking the child. But I was so grateful for her for taking my child for that 3 hours or so, or 2 hours, or however long she took the child for, so I can rest and just like, you know. And then she brought the child back, you know. I was so grateful for her. And then I just stayed in the hospital, I think so I gave birth on the 16th at 1:30, and I slept, right? The next morning, I think at midnight, that's when they were allowing me to move. Right now I was allowed to like move around and you know. And I was bleeding for my life, which was such a shocker, because now I thought like if you had a C-section, you're not supposed to bleed, but I was bleeding. We were all bleeding in the ward that I was in, and we all had our kids via C-section. And then so on the next day, they were busy screaming and shouting, and this nice nurse gave my child a bottle. I was so grateful. So my child had the bottle and stuff. You're not allowed to, no matter, they're like, there's no way I'll pull me, busy. This other nurse was so kind, and she was telling me, Guti, she had such a horrible experience giving birth at a public hospital, and she gave birth to twins. And so whenever she sees someone struggling, especially with breast milk, she stills the pills and she gives it to them. She gave me the pills, and they did help a little bit. And then on Sunday, I know that I think people are supposed to leave after like 3 days or something like that. So Mina, on Saturday, I was literally waiting for the doctors like this. When the doctor came, I was like, yo, I want to go home. I tell you, mommy, I was like, I want to go home. My baby is fine. I can't breastfeed. At least when I get home, I'll be able to make my child formula, because Lapa, they don't allow you to make your child formula and stuff. And guys, there's no hot water. You've just given birth. It's cold. You need to bath, you need to shower, you need to whatever. There's no hot water. There's no hot water at all. I was so grateful when I got discharged on Sunday. I was just like, thank you heavens, like thank you God, then I can go home. Even the nurses were like, why are you going home so quickly? I was like, yo, I told the doctor I want to go home, and I'm so grateful that he listened to me and he gave me what I wanted, because my child was fine. She didn't okay, yeah, and that was it. Okay, yeah, shitty. And that is it. Those were some of the things that I experienced at a public hospital that were like very, very bad for me, you know. So a tip to moms that are going to give birth to the hospital: in as much as you should not cry and attract all the attention, you need to let them know that you are in pain. Don't be too strong, because they're not going to attend to you. You need, guys, I don't know how different. My bonus mom gave birth at a public hospital, and she had an emergency C-section. And when she gave birth, like when she was supposed to lie flat, her child was taken to the nursery for kids, so she can like sort of like be fine before she can attend to her child. But in other hospitals, you are given your child literally immediately, and you're like, what am I gonna do with this child, because I can't move, you know. Anyways, yeah, guys, that is it. That was my experience. Outside of the remarks that they make about our babies, because those nurses do comment about our babies, and they just make you feel so insecure, like so bad about your child. I mean, again, my child had a mark from the bum down when the lady was helping my child with because my child, your child poops a lot, ne, when they are born, and they have that black I think is it meconium, yeah, meconium. And so when she was helping my child change her diaper, she was like, yo, I have a nyama store. And it's like, okay, you know. So they do make like horrible remarks. You just need to go there and understand that you're going there to give birth to your child, and the priority there is just to make sure that your child is fine, and that's the only thing. So that's the only thing I can caution you about it, you know. That's it. Thank you guys so much for allowing me the pleasure to infiltrate your spaces in the coolest way possible. Let's engage on the comments down below. How was your public hospital experience? If you are waiting to go give birth at a public hospital, what are you mostly scared about? You know, how have you prepared yourself mentally and stuff? See you guys on my next video. Bye.